Alright. What's up, everybody, and welcome back. We've got Vitality Solar in the top left side of the map. It's the semi-finals of the weekly cup here, and GUMIHO facing off against him in the bottom left. Cloud9 up against Vitality. Looks like Solar's going to go for a 15-15, most likely to start things off with that early extractor trick. Of course, wanting the early queens to pop out to defend that Reaper that can come across and jump in quite early on this map. GUMIHO, on the other hand, is going to go for a gas first. And that's interesting because gas first does delay your barracks, which means that early Reaper isn't really going to be a problem either way. But interestingly enough, the SCV is actually moving to the low ground. Hello, what are you up to, mate? You know what's cute? Because you don't quite have the minerals to start the barracks because of the early gas. So GUMIHO is like, you know what? Let's just go down and build the barracks a bit closer. This does make your follow-up a little bit awkward, though, unless you're happy to build your reactor here, which means, well, if you're doing your factory, swap onto the reactor. It means you don't have a wall off here. It does come with some downsides, but unlikely for that to matter too much. It just loses you some add-on swapping time. It is indeed that 15-15 for Solar, and I'm excited for this match because GUMIHO is such a creative Terran. His build orders are fantastic. Not as much mech as he used to play. I mean, I do miss mech, but obviously Solar especially just busted him a billion times with Queen Drop, Queen Walk, just Roach Ravager Corruptor bust, back when he played Battle Cruisers. Like, it was always just Solar would know he's going mech, do a big all-in, and kill him before he gets there. And don't get me wrong, I don't really think Solar's, too afraid of mech right now, but I do think GUMIHO is afraid of actually trying it because of what Solar's done to him in the past. Now, the command center is coming up here on the natural. That's going to start there. Queens beginning for Solar, and the Reaper will be coming out as well. Now, obviously, second gas timing is going to be interesting. Yeah, so he's going to wall off the top of the ramp with the factory. I wonder if he just goes like a Cyclone to deny Overlord scouts or something, because you can't build a reactor. Oh, 2 Reapers. Wow, okay, interesting. So GUMIHO, because he's not scouting, he knows a pull first could be a problem. So he's having the second Reaper helps you defend at home. First Reaper's going to come in. Remember, this was a 15-15, and it was a gas first. So even with the closer barracks, the Reaper's a little delayed. Oh, I like that. He kind of holds the choke point, gets himself a Zergling, almost gets a drone as well. Not a bad start. Now, these 2 Zerglings that sneak across that, they're going to come in, but the Reaper's almost out. Should be going straight after that SCV, taking his time there. Solar. Oh, the SCV should be able to get away there. Just rotate the healthy one onto the build. And the Zergling goes after the weak one, but that should easily make it to the high ground. The Reaper does ferry at home. Hellion building here. So it's going to be a Hellion. No reactor just yet. GUMIHO does have the money, but instead he opts for a starport in the main base. Second gas is mining. And these sort of gas first openings do lead to very early Hellion Banshee options. It's kind of old school, but definitely something you can just opt for a straight up Hellion Banshee if you want. Used to be really weird hellbat timings you could do that hit very fast off it as well. The old 420 light 'em up build was off a gas first. Drone snipe, not bad, but I doubt this Reaper gets out of here. Oh my gosh, he might actually... No. Nope. Is a drone worth losing the Reaper? I don't know. I mean, having 2 Reapers to join up with like Reactor Hellions would be good, but there's no Reactor Hellions. It is indeed a Cyclone like I was mentioning. And just one Hellion, just one Cyclone. Still no Reactor. No wall off on the natural. This is such a weird build. Oh, third gas fusion core. Okay, so this is battle cruiser. This is not even a normal battle cruiser. This is an exceptionally early battle cruiser build where he is not building reacted Hellions with it. Now, Ling Speed is obviously very late. The reason he's doing this is GUMIHO saw it was a 15-15. He knew that Ling Speed hadn't started when he was in that main. So he's like, well, you're not going to have Ling Speed until like 5 minutes or later. So I don't need Hellions. I can be as greedy as I want, go battle cruiser, and then we can go into whatever my follow-up plan is. Now, is it battlecruiser mech? Is it just a few battlecruisers into fire? His barracks is going to float back. That, of course, reveals the pillar, but the Overlord was already coming in for the sacrifice, and that Cyclone will clean it up. Reactor is on the way for GUMIHO. Dude, the Reaper Hellion getting itself a bit of a drone damage. So one more drone and a Spore Trick, not to mention mining time. This is pretty good, and this is just taking advantage of the fact that, hey, you don't have Ling Speed. You've done a very greedy build. I'm going to be greedy, and I'm going to punish you with the smallest amount of pressure. Picking off a Zergling here or there as well. That battlecruiser is going to pop out at about 520. That is an incredibly fast battlecruiser. Barracks going for a tech lab. Third command center on location. Dude, the greed. GUMIHO. And I love it. I mean, I think it's pretty damn good because it's unlikely Solar's really got much aggression. He does have a few Lings coming out now. 12 Zerglings. 10 more in the way, actually. So he's going to build like 20 Zerglings. I think Solar because he saw the Cyclone, right? Yeah, I mean, I think seeing the Cyclone One more drone does go down. So he's building a lot of Lings to counter the Cyclone attempt, and actually he's flooding around the other side of the map. There's only one Cyclone. There's no Hellions here. The factory swapped off the reactor. He's not building Hellions. Oh, GUMIHO. Oh, he does react. He reacts. He needs to pull every SCV, but the Cyclone gets surrounded, which means he's got no damage. He has one Hellion and one Reaper on this entire map. He has nothing that fights. His battlecruiser has to be used to defend now. Oh no, he's going to lose every single worker. Even if the battlecruiser fights, what can he do? And he teleports across the map. There's a Spore Crawler and a Queen there. He's not going to be able to do that much damage. GUMIHO. No way. Oh, well. GUMIHO played really smart, really flexible, saw no Ling speed, maximum damage with very few units, right? 7-kill Reaper, 2-kill Hellion. Just a Cyclone, super greedy with the third. I love everything here except that factory swapping off the reactor. If we look at that, I think that reactor was done for a while. So he could have had 2 Hellions out. And if he had the Cyclone on top of the ramp, 2 Hellions rallied there. Like if we look at this, right, it's 4 minutes, about 4:35, which means at about 4:55, he could have 2 Hellions out. I don't think those Zerglings even hit him by 4:55. But this was just idling here because he was spending his money on like 3rd command center and SCV production. Yeah, and then he spends his minerals on the extra 2 barracks. He could have had almost 4 Hellions out by now, right? And if he did, he'd be perfectly fine. So this was just way too much special sauce for GUMIHO. Solar takes an easy map 1. All right, well, that was a bit of a hot mess. Oh, I mean, he just had a bit of a little weak area there. Got a bit too fancy and GUMIHO gets punished. Solar A-moves some Zerglings and gets the easiest victory of his life. Kind of accidentally won that game. Feel like he just sneezed on GUMIHO. And then somehow GUMIHO just got turned into a fine bloody mist and a whole bunch of gold coins popped out where he was standing. Solar leveled up, went, oh, okay, I don't really feel I learned that. I earned that, I should say. I just said learnt instead of earned. Nice. Freudian slippy slips. Command Center is going to be going down in the natural as well, guys. So the problem for this is GUMIHO's just wasted a sneaky, probably mech, but definitely triple battlecruiser build. Solar now knows your sort of intentions. You're not going to be playing standard bio in this series. Well, maybe you will, but you definitely weren't planning to in game 1, right? So Solar's going to be on his toes for cheeky BS build orders. Now, the command center first, not a bad build order. Command center into gas before barracks? Wow, I thought you always go barracks before gas. But then again, why? Why do you need to do that? In fact, he could play single gas. Oh, do you guys think he goes 3 command center and just stays single gas for a long time? Oh, wow, he might. This is a very funky build order. I am fascinated. Has this been around for a while? Let me know in the comments if you guys have seen command center first into gas before barracks before. Because gas first with a normal build all the time. But because you've already delayed your barracks a long time, people normally rush to the barracks. But yeah, this is looking like a 3rd command center. Now, of course, you might think, well, he's already got enough money. Why not build it now? The problem is if he builds it now, he won't have enough money to make orbitals. So you want to make your 2 orbitals immediately, right? So barracks finishes, orbital starts. Natural finishes, orbital starts, and now you're going to think about the command center in the near future. Marines on the way, no Reaper, into a nice factory. Yeah, this times out rather well. And it looks like he's not going to take the 2nd gas, not for a while. Cool build order, very cool build order. Solar goes for the 3rd base. He also does not take Ling speed. It feels like Solar, yeah, especially after seeing command center first, he's like, well, I don't need Ling speed for a while because your production's going to be a bit late. And that 3rd command center goes down in the main. Nice adjustments for GUMIHO. And this is what's great about watching GUMIHO. Even though he's become a more standard player, he does everything with his own unique twist. Yeah, this is Vitality Gaming Solar. That's right. Solar up against Cloud9's GUMIHO. Overlord's going to take a lot of damage. Overlord speed coming in. Solar is like, I need to see what BS you're up to. And you know what? If GUMIHO plays standard bio, this is a perfect build for him. Because Overlord speed already hurts your build order, right? It costs you a lot of economy, 100 minerals, 100 gas that you don't get to use. It's kind of awkward, slows you down. Meanwhile, he's just doing the most generic greedy build. There's nothing here to react to other than the fact that GUMIHO is being greedy and, well, you better be greedy to match him. It's going to be too late to do an all-in. Your Ling speed just started. And I really feel like as this Overlord comes in, Solar's just going to go, damn. Quick, back to the macro, back to the macro. Go to Solar's vision right now, guys. We're on his camera. He sees the third command center. Already finished. Starport as well. And he's like, oh, okay. You can see the production tab already, guys. Drones pounding out. Second Overlord's coming in as this Overlord tries to escape. I think he saw those Hellions moving out. Raven? Oh, no. He's just doing the fake Raven upgrade to pretend he's going Cloaked Banshees, but he's actually just going a Banshee for safety. Very cool plays for GUMIHO. 6 Lings are on the way for Solar. Solar has how many queens now? 5 queens. 6th one about to come out. Overlord floats through the main base. Hellions managed to snipe a tumor. Very nice. Now, Solar's not the sort of Zerg to rush a 4th base. A lot of players seeing that fast 3rd command center, they might think about rushing a 4th hatchery, but Solar's not one to do that. He sees a quick 3rd and 4th gas. He knows it's mech. He knows it's mech, but it's GUMIHO, so it might be a fake out. He might actually play Bio now, just to troll him. He's going Banshee into Raven. He's making Stim. He's playing Bio. I mean, I guess because he's building a Raven, he kind of needs the 4 gas, but 4 gas before 2nd and 3rd barracks is crazy, guys. Normally you go for the 3 racks and the double engineering bay before taking the gases on your natural. But he's doing it the other way around. GUMIHO's build orders are built different, man. They're just a little bit special, aren't they? Only 1 Zergling's died. We do have a Spore Crawler on the left side of the natural. Nothing there in the main. Double Evo Chamber is going to be the play for Solar, as he does now confirm that it is indeed a barracks build order. 4 barracks building all at once. GUMIHO wants to build that income. 3rd command center's floating out right now. Oceanborn's a great map for late game, but as I said, I don't really favor GUMIHO in the late game. I think early late game it could do okay, but the more it goes, the harder it is for him to control those huge battles. Feels like guys like Maru and Clem are a lot more relaxed in those situations, whereas GUMIHO struggles when you've got armies spread across the map and siege lines covering 2/3 of the map. It always feels like it's just hard for him to keep up without getting hit by banelings and the like. Double upgrades in the back of the main. 4th and 5th reactor could be coming up here as well. Yep. Pretty much on point. And actually, Solar's 4th hatchery is really fast. For Solar, getting it just after 5 minutes, that's actually well timed for him. He's already at 74 workers. Macro hatchery out front. The reason to build the macro hatchery out front is it's really easy to dump extra injects on it with your creep queens, but it does kind of obstruct your units a little bit. It's a little exposed if the game gets messy and there's a big push there. Raven and Hellions poking around, but Queens can pretty easily deflect this. It's only once you've got like Marines and tanks with the Raven that it really starts to find big value in my experience. And because it's a lower tempo opening, the Zerg creep normally gets out so far that it's fine. Oh, we're going Baneling drop. Oh, this is so cool. Now, hot tip, guys. If you're playing against a Zerg or a Protoss, you should only go 3 Banelings and 2 Zerglings. You load the Banelings in first, the Zerglings in last. What this allows you to do is the Banelings can pepper across the mineral line, damage all the workers to 5 hit points, and then the Zerglings can one-tap them to finish them off. Just a hot tip. Against Terran, because the SCVs have 5 more hit points, it's probably better to just do the 4 Banelings. Marines and tanks there. Gets the first shot off. GUMIHO marching forward. He's on 8 racks. 8 racks. No gases on the 3rd. My man is going for the old 8 rack strategy, guys. +2 attack instantly starts at 7 minutes. He does start a 4th command center, but he's still quite committed to this attack. Baneling drop comes in, gets 3 SCVs. Can he get another good hit? Decent. He should have blown up a little further north. He could have got even more damage, but at least there's a bit of a distraction there. Marines up front getting hit there by some of the Ling Bane, but the tank is letting itself be known. Big fires from it. Raven's going to go past for some auto turret harass as well. I don't know if this is the best usage of the Raven personally, but he's just going to lose it. Oh no, not very good usage. Well, I definitely don't know if that's the best usage of the Raven. He's going to damage a Baneling and a Zergling, damage a Queen, not really get much done. Marines are going to stim it on this left side, start trying to focus the hatchery. Picks up, saves them at the last second. Nice moves. Big counterattack comes in, but there's enough Marines in a ball that GUMIHO should be able to win that fight. That's enough Marines in formation, medevacs healing them, that without Banelings, the Zerglings aren't able to crack through. Infestation Pit coming up right now. 2-2 upgrades on both sides. It's almost identical timings on both of those. Now, GUMIHO is creating an indentation in the creep. It's also a very hard area to fight with tanks and Hellbats spread around here. But, oh my, Ling Bane coming in, not much support. The Hellbats, are they going to be enough on this army? The Hellbats getting some very good shots off, but the tanks will go down. The Hellbats will get cleared up. But counterattack in the north as well. Double drop up there. GUMIHO Maybe a little slower to dive on this than he technically could have been, doing that a few seconds faster. But of course, he was busy microing that fight in the front. Ooh, the Baneling's connecting. Bit of a doo-doo there for GUMIHO, but he ain't done yet. He's going to go in on this left side. Drones are going to go down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And an Overlord, not to mention the Baneling snipe. Very fancy. Marines redropping on the right side. That Queen, incredibly vulnerable right now. She is low. GUMIHO starting to stretch out Solar's attention. His mental faculties being strained to keep track of everything going on. Keep in mind that Solar's an expert at this, though. He's the best defensive Zerg at just sitting in his corner until Hive Tech, and that Hive Tech is now on the way. He's got his Hydra upgrades coming in as well. I keep trying to click on it. It keeps moving. Both Hydra upgrades queued up. Not going to risk forgetting that as the game progresses. Lurkaden's on the way. 12 Marines building. Guys, he still doesn't have add-ons. He's got a 4th command center. He still doesn't have add-ons. GUMIHO is just playing balls to the wall. 66 worker, momentum, 8 racks, mass marine tank. He's only got 3 tanks. He needs to find damage here. I like the stop position there on those units. Still got to drop in the top. That could be annoying. Maxed out right now is GUMIHO. He's got 83 Marines. 2-2's finished. And it's time for him to fight. He's going to deny the 5th base of Solar. Solar wisely gives this base up. If he can get Lurkers out and Vipers, I think he shuts this down. But right now, Solar's down in supply. He's supply blocked a little bit as well. He needs a few more Overlords, but he is broke. He does not have the money that GUMIHO has. He's up 14 workers, though. The income should be a lot more for the Zerg. 4th base transfers out. 3-3 is on the way. Still, remember, there's only 1 factory. GUMIHO, realizing this isn't over, adds tech labs. That's very smart, but he missed one of them. The reason he needs those tech labs is he needs Marauders and then Ghosts to deal with the Viper Lurker. He knows this game's going to go longer. He can't get caught just running around on Mass Marine Tank for too long. He's going to start it. It's a delayed transition. It's a low economy version of the transition, but it does still manage to get some stuff done. Baneling's going to be going down in their cocoons. These Marines dangerously deep on creep, especially against Hydra Viper. Crazy move for GUMIHO, and he does get punished. A lot of the Marines get caught there by Ling Bane. I think that was a bit of a crazy move for GUMIHO. Being that close up a ramp was wild. Marines on the north, though, do deny another hatchery. He's forcing fights, though. As crazy as this is for GUMIHO, he is forcing fights, and that's what he needs to do. He's got the Marine numbers. Oh, my God, he's hot picking up. Dude, he can't make up. Is he standing or running? I don't know. He doesn't seem like he can make up his mind right now. There's still 5 tanks on this map. 3 are there. Solar is in a corner. He's got 2 Vipers, though, and those 2 Vipers with some good blinding clouds might be able to make some magic happen. A few Lurkers could be game-changing, but he hasn't found the room for them yet. Solar just hanging on with Ling Bane, trying to morph Lurkers on the front. The tanks are now here. I'd love to see a giant pre-spread on these Marines. GUMIHO agrees. Look at that spread on the Marine tank. This is a nightmare to behold. 5th Command Center and Fusion Core on the way as well. Viper's going to come in from the top side, abducting on the first siege tank. Very nice move there. That siege tank was the big range problem. The other tanks are far enough back. Solar can buy himself time. As long as Solar survives on 4 bases, he should be okay. Remember, Solar is the guy who just sits here and gets punched from start to finish. And then, when his Hive Tech comes out, and he's almost got that Lurker range, he will be able to just pick him away. And look at that. I mean, that tank's going to get abducted. Easy peasy. Lurkers take care of it. As long as you keep abducting these tanks, you're going to be good. The Vipers need to stay active, though. Solar's kind of just being a bit lazy. Solar, where are those abducts? Marines running in the left side. What is this? What is that? GUMIHO just throwing Marines into the meat grinder. He dives the right side, though. It was a distraction. It was a distraction. Those Marines on the left pay the ultimate price, diving in with no medevac support, so these guys could deny this hatchery. These Marines walk into the Lurkers. Oh, my Lord. The Marines on the top side still doing good damage. He's got to be careful to stay away from those Lurkers, though. Looks like he's going to go past and drop into the main base. Ling's in the 3rd base, causing a ruckus. GUMIHO's got to be careful. The multitasking is getting very intense right now. He's going to re-drop up here and deny the hatchery one more time. Those Lurkers aren't quite in range. Gets a few drones and a hatchery cancel. On the other side, the Marines do clean up those Zerglings there. Holy crudsicles. There is so much going on right now. Viper's coming forward as well. The 4th base will get rebuilt, but it does actually get blocked by his own Zergling. Solar needs to throw that hatchery down. He needs to throw it down right now. Tanks on the front should have been removed a little while ago. I do think those Vipers could have been a lot more active, but GUMIHO, you can tell he gets wasteful. As these fights get bigger, he gets frantic. It really feels like I'm watching myself play a little bit sometimes, obviously at a higher level, but in terms of the priorities, I have the same feeling that GUMIHO has. If the game goes too long, I don't feel like I can beat Zerg because I'm just not good at that late game, and you can tell he has the same sense of urgency. I gotta go. Keep him small, kill. He's got the Zerg trapped in a corner of the map, no creep spread, barely any economy, and it still feels like he's playing with just a little bit of desperation. I don't know if you guys feel the same thing. I definitely sense it. Maybe you guys think I'm being a little bit harsh. Maybe it's just the style he's playing. And with the style he's playing, it does make sense. He's building 2 more starports. He's getting the Mobius reactor. That's plus 100% energy regen on the medevacs. But he's got to keep trading while Solar's small. And anywhere he can fight where the lurkers aren't, that's going to be great. There's no banelings here. I actually think maybe he could have stood and fought. Does do a nice hot pickup, spreads on the parasitic bomb medevac top side. Here's a big marine drop ready, but the lurkers are still solid. That siege tank will get cleared up. Solar gets some great banelings. And those are the sort of baneling on marine hits you do not see when you're watching Clem. You do not see those very often when you're watching Maru. But for GUMIHO, the bigger the game gets, the more distractions, the more strains there are in your APM. It can absolutely get incredibly taxing. Ling Bane, Hydra trying to pull back to the left side. What a fantastic game too. And I love that GUMIHO is constantly able to bring these old school styles out and make them look good. But I do think, you know, he went from 2-to-1 efficiency to now he's only a few thousand resources ahead in the units lost. Like the gap has been closing over the last 5 minutes. And whilst GUMIHO still has a better position, he's only on 64 workers. He doesn't have a huge amount of momentum. Oh, target that Hydra. Yeah, don't let those Hydras get away. Great catch. Hydra's very expensive, fragile units. Hatchery on the 5th base gets cancelled as well. Nidus Worm trying to go up in the back door, but he's ready for it. Super prepared. He knew Solo was going to try and counter swing like this, so he's going to immediately send his Vikings to clean up the Overseer, Bio to clean up the Nidus attempt. Advanced Ballistics, as it comes in, could be very effective. With 3 starports, 4 libs building at a time. Range libs are going to be a very big problem. It's an army of almost pure Marine Marauder right now. 17 Marauders, 50 Marines. Can't really fight into an entrenched Lurker position with that. But he can definitely roam, and anywhere where the Lurkers aren't, he can take a good fight. Parasitic Bombs go down in the medevacs. Oh, GUMIHO! Oh my, oh, ow. I'm so used to watching Clem. When I see anyone fumble it, I'm like, oh, damn. It just seems so rare, but like we sometimes forget just how freaking hard it is to split those medevacs off instantly. Because he split off one of the parasitic bombs, but then he brought it back while fumbling on the second one. This one goes down on that side as well. GUMIHO's still got good control of his side of the map. He's got mass lib coming in. I do wonder, though, where the finishing play is. Because we still don't see more SCVs. We don't see mass orbital. GUMIHO is not preparing for the end game. He never put back on gas on this base, and that's going to start to hurt him. He's not taking gases over here as well. Feels like GUMIHO is falling behind on his macro tasks a little bit. There we go. He fixes it up, starts taking extra gases as well. It's kind of just chilling, though. 4 Liberators are going to siege up. Oh, but there's Vipers. This is not a good move. The Vipers should be able to just abduct or parasitic bomb down these Liberators. All right, back into it after a little sound issue there. So the counterattack gets dealt with. GUMIHO's looking super solid. The libs going up the top. The problem is they can just all get abducted. Like, this is a very easy cleanup. This is kind of a silly attack, but it does distract him. So they all die. But on the left side, GUMIHO stims in. Oh no, Solar responded with too much. Big Ling Run by gets in. But oh no, he's clicking it around. Solar giving some weird orders to his Ling Run by. Oh, that's a bummer there. Does miss out on a bunch of potential damage if he just kind of continued in, I feel like. Anyways, the Lingbane Hydra getting pulled out of position, losing his 5th base again. Solar, he just doesn't have the numbers to be everywhere at once. And, I mean, GUMIHO has like 4,000 Marines and Marauders. He's just going to go fight this army. He stims his whole force. His army was already not fully healed up. This could be very costly. Oh my gosh, but there's no Lurkers. There's no Lurkers. There's no Fungal here. I feel like if you have Lurkers and Fungal, I don't know if GUMIHO can really get through you. But if you don't have something like that, it's such a big, meaty ball. Oh, the Blinding Cloud! The Blinding Clouds! For those who don't know, Blinding Cloud reduces units' ranges to 0, which means they run forward into the Banelings. Oh, GUMIHO still has numbers on the field in advantage, but he did take a few bad hits on his Lurkers. Oh, those Lurkers doing really well. Hydra Lurker trying to defend here as well. But oh my gosh, the Marine Marauder just trying to shove through GUMIHO with an insanely decisive push. I think he realizes there's no money. Oh, and all these Lurkers were going for a counterattack. That's why Solar was sick of defending. If he had a few more Lurkers, it actually would have been game-changing on the defense because GUMIHO was so all in on this Marine Marauder lib push. But actually sending those Lurkers across was a mistake. Because if you lose this northern base, you're screwed. Whereas GUMIHO's still got extra command centers on 4th and 5th bases that he's got, doing damage, gaining dividends over time. The Marauders up front here, picking off these Hydras and these Lings. Solar, he was losing his top 2 only mining bases. And he was getting defended at home as well. You could see, oh my gosh, look at this side of the map. Looks like he tried to move on this base and they scanned and managed to take out all these Lurkers. And we've got some Lurker corpses in mid-ascent. That's a fantastic screenshot to come back onto. GG, well played. GUMIHO ties up the series. All right. Let's go game 3. Top left side of the map, we've got a gas first opening. I love to see it. GUMIHO has so many bloody opening variations that are going to make things just a little bit different for Solar to deal with. And of course, Solar, I mean, he's pretty good at handling it for the most part. Solar's very good at not dying to any cheeky BS. But I do wonder if GUMIHO goes for another battle cruiser opening or something. I hope he does. I hope he does. Gas pool. All right, gas goes down. Spawning pool up next. Perfectly timed opening for Solar. Yeah, this is just a very standard hatch gas pool. Now, usually the old school thing we'd be worried about against a gas first as a Zerg is that, you know, they're going to go Reaper, but then they're going to very quickly go Factory Reactor, and they're going to dive in with 2 to 4 Hellions, good 20 to 30 seconds earlier than they normally would. And that can be quite powerful. On the other hand, if you're doing Reaper first with no scout like this, or gas first, sorry, usually you don't build a Marine after the Reaper, which means if Solar had happened to go pool first, he could run 2 Lings around the edge of the map. Your Reaper would get to the Zerg side. You'd see the hatcheries late, and you'd go, oh no! And then 2 Lings would come in and kill this SCV, and you'd just have no answer to it. So sometimes even 6 Lings, and they could even kill the command center. But that's not going to be the case. It is a quick factory. No early Zergling threat. Solar has not pulled off gas, because he's, of course, worried about not only proxy barracks, which he scouted very thoroughly for with his early overlords. He hasn't even scouted, but also 2 Rex Reaper. And he will find out in a little bit that, hey, this Reaper's kind of late. I probably didn't need to invest in Ling speed this fast, but I don't think it's too bad either way. It's not like it's a huge slowdown to your build order to go for a quick Ling speed. Reaper's coming in. The Reaper's kind of late. Remember, this Reaper should not kill a single unit, because it's about 3 to 4 seconds later, maybe 5 seconds, then a barracks gas build. Oh my gosh! Oh, he almost lost it. You're not going to kill that Reaper, though. Solar still happy to put his creep tumor down instantly. He's got the high ground advantage on this map. The Ling's going to block the jump into the main while the Queens move out front. Factory's down, building Hellions. Starport's on the way as well. Notice these factory. Look at that, guys. He's already going to have Hellions popping just after 3 minutes. So about 3 minutes 30, 3 minutes 40. He could try to dive with 4, but against an early Ling speed, not much of an opportunity. I'm keeping my eyes on any potential early 3rd or 4th gas. For now, though, this is looking like a pretty generic opening for GUMIHO. There's no sign of him doing anything crazy. This map has been relatively popular for 8 racks. I know Oliveira made it look really good, almost breaking Cyril with that 8 racks in Dallas earlier this year. Oh, hold on. Hellions running in. Mere seconds before Ling speed finishes, but perfect timing on the Ling speed. As long as those Lings don't line up for the Hellion shots, you can see only 2 Lings for 2 Hellions. A perfect trade. 2 more Hellions coming forward, but no momentum for GUMIHO whatsoever. If he brought his Reaper with that, maybe he would have got a little more damage, but it's only so much potential. The Reaper shoots a lot faster than the Hellions, so sometimes it can finish off all those low hit point Zerglings, and the Hellions will naturally target the other targets, which is obviously what you want. Yeah, Banshee Hellion. Cyclone is going to start. He's going to use that to deal with this Overlord. 2 Cyclones even. Interesting. I don't know, man. This doesn't feel good for GUMIHO. If I was in his shoes, I just feel like, look, I don't have a 3rd command center started. I'm spending a lot of money on this tech, where if Solar just defends his 3 bases without taking much more damage, and he's already had a good start, so it shouldn't be too hard. Should be in a good position. Hellions and Reaper come forward. Nice volley on the Zerglings. Oh, he's just going to dive it. Dude, GUMIHO. Even though the first 2 Hellions failed, Solar got caught being a little too greedy there. 3 drones already going down. Make it 5. Oh, the Spore Crawler bought him a bit of time, though. The Reaper Hellion's not going to get any more damage. Well done by Solar on the defense. That could have been a lot worse. He tried to block him there, which is why he was moving rather than attacking that whole time. But hold on. Oh, but he's distracted him. And this is a very quick Banshee, guys. Keep in mind, this is a very early cloak. Oh, wow. So actually, the build order has got him an incredibly early cloaked Banshee. No Spore Crawler on the 3rd is a big mistake. He had a Spore in the main and the natural, which makes you wonder, did he try to place it, but then it got blocked? Did it get blocked? Oh, it might have been blocked. If it got blocked, that's a disaster, mate. Oh, beautiful amounts of damage coming in. Solar's got to be mouthing right now. This is old school. We used to do builds like this all the time as Terrans in early Legacy of the Void, and it was like really hard for Zergs to defend because people just weren't as good, but it's so rare these days because the Zergs are usually so good at defending it, shutting it out without taking damage. But man, this is the rare example of GUMIHO bringing back these old build orders from, you know, his heyday. He was destroying back in early Legacy, and even a few years in, still is a very, very good player. Making it to a big grand finals last year, and actually playing such a fun series versus Serral as well, right? Overlord speed's on the way. Oh, Solar's going all in. Solar's made up his mind. Solar has basically said, "Ah, crap, you're going mech. I need to kill you. Like, you're gonna go mech." He sees the extra factory building, and he's like, "Okay, we're gonna bring queens. We're gonna go Ravager, queen push." He's going for a big all in. Remember, Solar is a very inelegant anti-mech player. I don't know if Solar's actually good against mech when it comes to late game. Do you know why I don't know that? Because he kills them before they get there. That's why. But this has been a bad start for him. So this time, the all-in is going to be like very delayed. It's going to be a much weaker version. And spotting the Overlord cocoon is big. He might think it's an Overseer, but when he sees it finish, he's going to realize probably that is a drop alert. Does he realize, though? He might not have seen it. He might not actually know. Double upgrades are on the way right now for GUMIHO, so he's on 3 factory, but he will not have 1-1 in time. We've already got 5 queens. 8? He's bringing 8 queens and an Overseer. He's got 8 roaches, as many are going to morph into Ravagers as possible, and endless Zerglings. Oh me, oh my. There's no tanks out yet. They've just started. Need to abandon the third base. Get out of there, GUMIHO. Get out of there. Cyclone Hellion coming back from that side. He sees the roaches. He sees the drippy droppies. These guys may be trapped on the outside of his base. Not an optimal position, but it is what it is. The Banshees are going to come in and start working on the rally. Cyclone Hellion trying to micro back as best they can. These units will get chased down. There's a Banshee on that side as well. Oh, the Queens come in, but actually the Queens are kind of on their own. This might be a bit of a mistake here. He's trying to drop creep. Can he transfuse? One goes down. One of the Queens does fall, though. Transfuse is pretty nice. The Siege Tanks, the SCVs, the Hellbats doing big damage. This is crazy right now. I feel like I have to keep watching this fight. At the same time, Banshees are working on the Ravagers on the outside. The Queens are going to get taken out. He needs to lift up and get out of there, but the Overlord will die. He does take out both tanks, picks up the 3 Queens. The Overlords are still alive, but now the Banshees can beat the Queens because there's only 3 Queens left. They've only got 1 transfuse. Banshees should beat that. 1 Banshee goes down, 2 Queens still alive. He needs to do in and out micro, but with the Viking there, his Overlords are going to die. The Queen will go down. Will it take out 1 more Banshee? No, it will not. There's still a Banshee alive. Third base is mining. The natural is not. 48 workers for GUMIHO, 43 for Solar. I don't think this is enough damage for the Zerg because the tanks and the Banshees clean up the last roaches. And that, I think, should be that. Oh, Ling run by. Those SCVs hiding in the corner there. Very nice micro to protect those workers by just spam clicking them in the corner until the Banshees clean up those Zerglings. Overseer somehow survived up there on almost no hit points. I do love the Contaminate on the factory. He does some damage, but not what Solar was looking for. And Solar's follow-up, he's going to do it again. Oh, this is the dirtiest thing ever. Guys, I've lost to this before. You do not understand the rage as a Terran player. If you hold an all-in like that, you refocus on SCVs, upgrades, setting your macro back up, and then they hit you with round 2 of the exact same attack. It is infuriating if you lose to this, because you're like, I held the all-in. They're like, yeah, here's round 2 of the exact same attack. Because they know they did a bit of damage. They disrupted you. And look at the production tab. He's only building Hellions. He's not building many actual serious fighting units. 4th command centers, double upgrades, 4th and 5th factory. He does have 1-1 upgrades, though, which are going to be massive in this fight. And here we go, guys. Round 2 of the same fight. Banshees are once again not at home. SCVs heavily damaged. Ravagers, Queens, Overlord Highway. It's go time. Solar is going to dive in. But the tank is on the high ground. There's another tank here in the natural as well. He needs Cyclones. He needs tanks. He needs units. GUMIHO very light on unit production right now as his opponent swarms in. The landed Viking in the mineral line is amazing, dude. It lifts off. Biles will take out that tank, though. 1 tank does go down. Queen's coming forward. There's so many Vikings. So many Vikings. Wow. Kind of crazy that there's so many Vikings here. There is a tank on the high ground that's still shelling. That tank up there is taking out a lot of Lings and Ravagers. Solar's got to be careful about how many units he's losing. If he can bring another Overlord forward, drop creep and deny this base, he might be able to transition. But behind this, what? 8 drones just went down. Guys, there's Hellbats killing his entire third base. Banshees in the natural are going a little bit deep, and now he can hold position there. Oh no, Solar's getting destroyed by the Hellbat Banshee counterattack. For some reason, there's a floating barracks and 3 Zerglings hanging out in the corner of the map. Deserters! Deserters! Someone line them up. We need a shooting squad. These guys, and whoever's flying that barracks, these guys are just trying to avoid the battle. Ravagers, Queens, and Lings trying to hang out here on the low ground. We've got some transfuses, some creep tumors trying to go down here. He's going to break the wall as Solar, but he's got no mining at home. He's all in. He's got to get the bile on the tanks. If he can get rid of the tanks, there's a dream. Here's a dream of Terran getting overwhelmed right now. Will it work? One of the tanks will get piled. The Ravagers starting to get picked off. The transfusers from the Queens are brilliant, but is it going to be enough? There's still a few more tanks in the back. A few more biles go down. Oh, that's a lot of Ravagers that just got popped. Oh my, like overripe pimples squirting their viscous payload all over that bathroom mirror. Those Ravagers getting destroyed was gross. It felt like they were surviving so long, and then just like 2 or 3 tank shots all landed in the center of them when they were mega clumped. Zerglings behind the depots chipping away at them. Yeah, you got a bit of a creep contain, but you can tell Solar is in a one-track mind right now. This sort of Zerg, 29 drone Zerg, thinks about only one thing, and it's disgusting, as the meme would go. And that is basically jamming as much biomass into the Terran natural as possible and winning the game. Because if you're not able to get the Terran out of here, I mean, this is getting worse every second that goes by. By the way, 2-2's finished. It's game over, guys. One Hellbat can probably kill 30 Zerglings with 2-2 against 0-0. I mean, these units are so well upgraded. The tanks have 3 armor. The Zerglings are going to take... They're going to do 2 damage a hit to a 175 hit point siege tank. I'm not good with numbers, but I think that means... You need to do like 87 attacks on a Zerg from a Zergling to kill 1 siege tank. Just to put things in perspective. It ain't looking good for Solar. Solar's still building Roach Ravager. He wants to go for round 3 of the same thing. I do love that he built a chode across the map of creep, and it's kind of a bit of a protuberance here going up into the 3rd as well. I do like that. I always find it funny when creep is not really spreading on most of the map. There's just one big extension. Eight Hellions? Wow, it's an 8 Hellion counter drop, guys. GUMIHO says, get out of here, man. He's like, look, bro, I don't need to move out of my natural as long as I'm dropping fire on you. Oh, I love the smell of napalm in the morning. Smells like victory. 2 Hellbats in the 3rd base. Oh, they're going for the Queen, not the drones. Dude, the Hellbats are actually trading okay against the Ravager Ling. That's how desperate Solar's position is. 8 Hellbats are giving him serious problems. He literally can't deal with 8 Hellbats. Oh, damn. GUMIHO with a brilliant opening. And we have to check, guys. Did Solar try to build a spore and it just didn't go down? Because if so, I'd be gutted. If I was Solar, I'd be like, what? So let's look at when his spores went down. If we find that moment, which is going to be sometime soon, we can kind of see. Should be sometime soon. Yeah, he sees Cloaked Banshee. So he knows it's there. So he starts the spore in the natural. And he should build one in the main in the 3rd. But he's trying to delay as long as possible. And then he gets distracted by the Hellions. Oh, and he just forgets. No lair and only 1 spore is crazy. And then he builds it in the main. He still hasn't built it in the 3rd. Oh no! Maybe he thought he clicked it down at one of these moments when he glanced over there. But he like misclicked it where it couldn't be placed and then got distracted and didn't realize. Oh, that is disastrous. It's a really nice timing though. It's such a fast Banshee, and because he did a 2 Hellion dive into a 4 Hellion dive, there's all these distractions that make it really hard for the Zerg to remember the Spore Crawlers in the midst of dealing with everything else. And I love this Cyclone positioning as well on the defense. Later on, he had a landed Viking defending this area. Really cool details by GUMIHO to win this series. GG, well played.